Well, Tommy, I suppose this year is significant because it's 50 years you've been connected with the football club.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that significance is sort of tarnished a little bit because of the news you've received lately.
Well, it is. It was a big shock. I was looking forward to the chairman had gracefully said, we'd love you to have a game here. 50 years, fabulous time. So I was really looking forward to it, and people are trying to put things in place for me, and nothing's really in place at the moment, but we're hoping it will be. And then all of a sudden, I get cramps in my hands and I get cramps in my arms, and that started me going to see people, and it's progressed from there and there and there until I went down to Cambridge, and they started sticking pins in me and all the rest of it, just to see where I was with it, and then go and see my specialist, and bless her heart, she looked at me and after a few little chats said, we think it's motor neuron disease. And obviously there's a term put on that as well, a life term, and it's incurable. Takes you back a bit to be told that. It's like when I was playing, somebody coming up, the manager, and saying, you'll never score another goal, and you think, well, I will. And I know as soon as she said it, I thought, yeah, we'll see about that. You reckon it's terminal? We'll see. And we won't give up. I've had illnesses before, long-term ones, and managed to cope with them. So, we'll keep going, and we'll keep a smile on my face and do our best for people.
Yeah. When were you first aware? Was it?
It was just cramps. I used to sit watching television, and my fingers would lock there, and I'd have to. I still do, and I have to prise them, and the pain is intense, and then the muscle here will tighten, and the same just in my calf, and I get a tightness in my neck which goes into my head, and then I get such a pain in my head. It seems like a good while, but it's only seconds. It's only seconds, but it's so intense, the pain, and then it just goes, and then you're fine again. And I walk about and people say, well, there's nothing wrong with you. But it's just, my arms, I struggle, that's as high as and if you can see my hand, that's the one problem I have. That one's fine, but this one has took the brunt of it, and this isn't just,
Yeah.
But there you go.
Yeah.
You take what God gives you.
Yeah, that's it. So it's the coping mechanisms now for the time being.
You would be surprised at how a body copes. Really, it's amazed me, even eating. We've got one or two special little fork and spoon and bits which have helped me. But you learn to cope. I wash in the morning, and if you see me washing, you just fall about laughing. You would. I mean, I've got my head right in the sink because I can only get my arms up to my waist. So if I stand up, I can't wash. I have to put my head in the basin, and I sometimes cry, but a lot of times I laugh, and I think, oh, what am I doing?
Yeah. Before you were diagnosed, how much aware were you of the disease? I made myself deliberately not look on the internet, because I know if I go into Google, it's going to, I didn't know what it was going to do to my mind, so I kept off it. I know Ian, my son, he went into it thoroughly, and I'm saying, don't tell me, don't want to know. But he's had a look at it, and we know what to expect now, because obviously it's progressed. But until the doctor said, this is what you've got, I didn't really want to know too much about it, And did you have an inkling then?
We've always had an inkling, yes. And this sounds terrible, but my granddaughter's boyfriend's mum, who was 42, died of this 2 months ago, and I went to the funeral, not knowing I had it, And I mean, it gave me the feeling of what people are feeling for me now, because I had that feeling for her, you know, and I think it's even more difficult for the people around you, like my son, my daughter, Helen. You know, I mean, Helen, bless her, you know, she has to cope with it every day, every second. And, you know, it's harder for them to accept than me, because I think they're always saying to themselves, what can I do to help? How can we help? Whereas I am more, you know, I've got it, I just, you know, we'll deal with it as it comes on and what have you. And we'll fight the good fight, you know. Yeah. And that's the way I look at it.
You've got the football club as your sanctuary, so to speak.
Brilliant.
You still work here.
I still work here.
Supporting you.
I've said to the chairman, I've said to Bob about Bob Sims, and I've said to Bob, if it ever happens that this affects me in a way that, this sounds terrible, but that I'm unsightly to look at, you know, if anything develops where I'm walking strangely and all the rest of it, and I don't pick it up, please tell me. Don't feel any problem at all. And then I will come to the games, but I won't do the hospitality. Because I'd hate, you know, for people to sort of say, oh, we're sorry for you and all the rest of it. And that spoils the game a bit. You know, I don't want that. People come here to watch a game and have a good experience. And that's what Posh do for people. You know, they get them here and they enjoy it. They enjoy the day. We walk out on the pitch, we meet the players, we see the game, we have the food, the hospitality. And it's great. And I do not want anything to affect that. So as soon as anything does affect that, I need people to tell me, if I haven't realised myself, you know, and then I will stand down and just watch the game as a supporter.
Yeah. There is quite a lot of research going into the disease, but at the moment there's, as you quite rightly say, there's no known cure, but the efforts which are being made and the high profile sportsmen who have been affected by it now, it's been made more awareness of people for people.
Well, again, my son Ian, he looked into it and he's come up with some names of players who have had it, who have it now, and are, you know, going round sort of having talks to people. And I have an Alzheimer's at the end of the month. I've got to go and do a talk to them. So not only will I be talking about Alzheimer's, I'll be telling them about me, you know, and saying, look, we're in the same boat, really, you know, and I'll be at one with them, if want of a better term.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In terms of going forward, are you prepared for what's ahead?
I don't think you ever can. I don't think you ever can. I've sat when basically just on my own at times, and the thought has come to me, and I think, well, the natural progression. The good thing is that this has hit me in the arms. A lot of people comes into the feet first, then the legs. It makes them immobile. I'm mobile, I'm completely mobile. The specialist, bless her, she said, I have no problem with you driving, Mr. Robson. Your hands are strong and what have you, because she's tested me out. So I have no problem there. But if it goes into your legs first and comes up the body, instead of me, it'll go down the body, then I think it's a bit more awkward. But you know, it just, you know, if you wake up in the morning, mornings are the worst because you've just come out of a sleep and your mind's a little bit down, and things like wheelchairs come into your mind, you know, how do I get on with a wheelchair? And then we have a laugh and say, yeah, well, we'll get a 3-litre one, you know. We'll be able to run up and down to Brighton to see my laddie and go over to Whittlesea to see my daughter. But, you know, jokes aside, it is something to contend with, to think that, you know, but if it keeps you mobile and it gets me around and I still see people, I love people. I love being with people. That's why I love this job, you know, and oh, so taken aback by what's been put on the internet. I mean, Ian came up from Brighton this morning and he was reading out some of the, he says, look at these, Dad, you know, and heartfelt, you know, oh, I can't thank people enough, you know, and that keeps you going. That keeps you going, and that gives you another incentive. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm staying here till we'll have a battle.
Yeah,
you know.
You mentioned the reaction.
Yeah.
Quite a lot on Twitter, quite a lot on Facebook. So it must be heartwarming.
It is. It's absolutely brilliant. It's like being back on the pitch. You know, I mean, I used to run about the pitch, and I don't know whether it was my size or because I was quick, but people took to me when I came here, and that was brilliant, you know. And I just love the crowd as much as they like me, bless them.
Yeah. If you needed to give advice to people who may be affected, may be concerned that they might have the same sort of, you know, condition, what sort of advice?
I think the only thing is to live every day, and to this sounds stupid, but to help the people around you, because it doesn't help them you going in a corner, you going and sitting down crying, you moaning about it and all. Well, do a bit of moaning. You've only got to ask the missus, and you know she will tell you. But I think you haven't got to add to the pressure of people around you, and I think that's the biggest thing. You know, just be strong in that sense, and you know, get on with it.